just Ashley. I woke up to quite a few of these comments right here that are feeding off of one another, calling me a compulsive liar, saying I never got invited, saying that I flew all the way out here to LA to try to go to the Grammys. So I figured this is my story to tell. So I slept on it and I'm ready to go ahead and show you guys the receipts, show you everything that I went through the past 2 weeks. So if you want to continue, it's gonna be a 3-minute video. Make sure that you pause to read. I have timeline, timestamps. I'm not going to cover any names whatsoever. I'm going to make sure that this company is known, and this is not for clout. This is actually going to be a learning experience for everyone. And I don't want this to happen to another creator. So we're just going to get down to it. So the company that reached out to me initially, their name is Sweetie High. Here they are. They are a verified account. Their name is Sweetie High right here. They have 13.5 million followers. So on January 18th of this year, I received a DM in my Instagram account that looked like this. You can pause to read. Shortly after receiving that message, I went ahead and responded. Pause to read. Shortly after that, she had called me January 19th that night, late, it was past 6, to call me and pretty much say that I was being invited to the Grammys. So this woman got on the phone and she pretty much just explained the company, explained everything that they stood for and what the plan was for me, and that was to partner with the Grammys. And they specifically told me that there would be more information to come, and that if I was interested, that they would get me a ticket. She specifically told me that no flight was going to be paid for. My lodging needed to be out of my pocket, and that they don't promise any compensation. I then asked this person at Sweetie High, I asked her if I could bring my husband. My husband is my acting manager. He does a lot for me on the side and for this entire brand and business. And she told me that that was not off the table and that we would talk about it further. This is my next text message. Go ahead and pause to read. So from there, I pretty much just awaited her call. I thought in my mind from the beginning, I had a really weird feeling and I could not shake it. But of course, I'm running out of time and there are a ton of moving parts, so follow for part 2. What's up guys, it's just Ashley here. Sorry I kept you waiting for part 2. I've just been trying to enjoy myself out here in LA. I mean, I flew all the way out here. So I apologize for that. I can't fit everything all in 3 minutes, so that's why I have to do multiple parts, but we'll just get into it. If you haven't watched part 1, just go ahead and watch that. These videos, you know, you can say they're for clout, but I am honestly on here to be fully transparent with you guys and protect myself and let you guys know what happened over the course of 2 weeks. I am not on here to defame or speak ill about a company such as Sweetie High, the Grammys. I'm not on here to speak ill about anyone. This is just a learning experience, so this doesn't happen to anyone else. So we left off with this text message. You can pause to read. After that, I didn't really hear anything for a few days, and I followed up, and this is what they texted. And pause to read. So we ultimately set up another time to go over everything on the phone, and from there, she told me that I was actually chosen to be one of the very few to walk the red carpet. There was no motive behind it. They just talked about promoting and partnering with the Grammys. Partnering with the Grammys will come up multiple times in these videos, and I will explain the reason behind it. So shortly after that, I received the contract. So this would bring us to January 25th, and this is the email that I received. Pause to read. States there, we are thrilled to have you as an official Grammys partner and really looking forward to next week. And for everyone stating that I made up this contract and that I didn't sign a contract, here's my contract. Okay, so here's the first part, and this is the initial contract, not the final one. And then this is the second. Pause to read. So this was everything expected of me in the contract, all of the content I was supposed to make. Now I say this when I say this is not the final contract, because from there I went I spoke to my publicist. We were on the phone nonstop, reading over this contract 4 or 5 times. After going over this contract with my publicist then came up with the idea to actually send over my own contract. So that is where the deal memo came into play. So before sending over the deal memo, I went ahead and had a back and forth conversation with Marion. Pause to read. So after I sent that, she responded pretty quickly with this. Pause to read. Okay, so after I went ahead and responded, you can pause to read, and then I got an updated contract. And I'll go more in detail on the next one because I'm running out of time. Hey guys, it's just Ashley here. So yesterday we left off with part 2. If you haven't seen 1 and 2, you can go watch it. Again, I'm not on here to speak ill about any company or defame anyone. I am just talking about my experience and what happened. If you were being called a pathological liar and being attacked, especially by people on the internet, you'd want to get on here and explain the reason why you weren't attending something that you were told that you needed to say that you were going to attend. So yesterday we left off with the deal memo. So I sent the deal memo over. We exchanged a ton of emails back and forth. I was very adamant that I needed someone to walk with me on the red carpet to feel comfortable, and they refused to allow that for me. So I sent them the deal memo for them to sign. They did not sign it. They did not get back to me. They did give me the runaround. They said, yes, I will get back with you. I'm going to go ahead and bring someone else in to look over the deal memo, and I never heard back. This deal memo specifically stated, because when I'm out in public and people think that I am Taylor Swift, which is, I have brown eyes, you cannot mistake me for Taylor Swift. No press, no one can mistake me for Taylor Swift. But I wanted to protect myself. So I made this deal memo to ensure that no press, no videos, no photos would have Taylor Swift name on it. So it was just for protection, and they would not sign it. So in between that, I went ahead and got this email. So this is what I mainly wanted to explain to you guys, is the reason why I made that video on January 31st. So here's the email. Pause to read. I will keep it longer. This is just stating what I needed to do, and that, I was teaming up with the Grammys and headed to the show. And then this is the end of the email. So in that email, it ultimately wanted me to get Swifties on this side and try to get, to come to the Grammys, because it wasn't announced yet. That is when I was like, that's not me, so I will just go ahead and have my own take on how I would do the announcement. I would have never have announced that I was going to the Grammys when I did not know and I didn't have a ticket, if I wasn't told that I needed to make that video midnight on January 31st. That's why I'm right now explaining this to you guys, because I would have just gone out here. I would have just let this all happen, because it happens. Business, so business. I would have never have said anything to anyone. My family saw it. All of my family saw it. So I have to go back on social media and say. So from there, my PR just took over everything, and they were talking back and forth, and after that conversation, she pretty much just wanted to pay me off. She wanted to give me a bunch of money. She was like, okay, I will give you $800. And I was just like, it's not about the money for me. It was more about the experience. So I understand that you can cancel. That's perfectly fine. But now I have to go back to my followers and I have to explain to them that I didn't, in fact, lie. That you guys told me to come out here and do all this and then cancel as I'm landing. And they all knew that I was taking off that day. So they knew I was getting on my flight. So it had to have been a very last minute pull. I have all of that information from my PR, everything down to all the phone calls, back and forth, 11 different times. I contacted the CEO of the Grammys to just ask, so apparently I know you all are saying like, oh my God, Taylor Swift has a restraining order on you and Taylor Swift's team was behind this. no, they didn't have a ticket for me. They bit off more than they could chew. And I since learned yesterday that this company has actually done this to multiple people, multiple, and that they've stayed quiet. And they pay them off, and that's what she wanted me to do. And after she found out I had reached out to the CEO, she got very, very angry, called my PR 10 plus times, trying to get a hold of my husband, trying to, keep me quiet. They said, go quiet, we'll give you the money, we'll do this, and yeah. So yeah, I don't need an explanation. I don't need to know why I wasn't. It was just to get on here to let you guys know, like, I'm not a liar. Like, I didn't post that video on January 31st just to post it. I was told to. And I also since learned that the contract is not binding. The founder told my PR, and I got this information directly from her just now, that she never signed the contract. She never signed it at all, and that's the reason why she would not send it back. And then once everything came into play, she said, well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign it right now and send it back to her. So yeah, that's everything that happened. And so I don't have that signed contract. They canceled. That contract is not binding. So I just wanted you guys to know. I actually turned off my comments temporarily just so I could finish what I was saying. But they are back up, so.